First contact. The arrival. Ambassador Zix's era of the Galactic Confederation felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation as their ship approached the blue-green orb known as Earth. After centuries of observation, the reclusive humans had finally achieved the technological benchmarks required for first contact. As the chief xenodiplomat, Zix's era had the honor and burden of being the first to officially greet this enigmatic species. The sleek, crystalline vessel glided into Earth's orbit, its iridescent hull refracting sunlight in dazzling patterns. Zix's era, a being of luminous energy contained within a hovering exosuit, pulsed with anticipation. Their research team had spent years studying human transmissions, learning their languages, and attempting to understand their culture. Yet, Zix's era knew that no amount of second-hand information could truly prepare them for direct interaction. Ambassador, the ship's AI intoned, "We're receiving a transmission from the human delegation. They're ready to receive us at their orbital station." Zix's era's form flickered, an expression of acknowledgement. "Very well. Let's not keep our new friends waiting." The docking procedure was smooth, a testament to the humans' rapid technological advancement. As the airlock cycled, Zix's era composed themselves, running through the carefully practiced greetings and gestures their team had prepared. The door slid open, revealing a group of humans in crisp, formal attire. Zix's era's sensors immediately began analyzing their biology, confirming much of what they had learned from afar. But it was the creatures standing beside the humans that caused Zix's era's energy field to fluctuate wildly in shock. Flanking the human delegation were two massive, fur-covered quadrupeds. Their muscular bodies were adorned with what appeared to be ceremonial armor, glinting under the station's lights. Sharp teeth peeked out from beneath their jowls, and intelligent eyes surveyed the alien visitors with keen interest. Zix's era's universal translator struggled to process the next words from the lead human, a tall woman with dark skin and striking green eyes. "Ambassador Zix's era, welcome to Earth's Harmony Station. I am Dr. Amara Chen, Earth's diplomatic liaison. We're honored to meet you." She gestured to the creature beside her. "This is Rex, my personal companion and a valued member of our delegation." The creature, Rex, let out a low, rumbling sound that Zix's era's systems interpreted as a greeting. The ambassador's energy field pulsed rapidly, a clear sign of distress to any being familiar with their species. "Greetings, Dr. Chen," Zix's era managed, their synthesized voice wavering slightly. I must confess, your companions are unexpected. Our intelligence suggested that Earth was home to only one sapient species." Dr. Chen's eyebrows rose, a gesture Zix's era recognized as surprise. "Oh, I see the confusion. Rex and Luna here aren't a separate sapient species. They're dogs, what we call pets. They're animals we've domesticated over thousands of years to be our companions and helpers." Zix's era's mind reeled at the implications. These formidable creatures, clearly powerful enough to tear a human apart, were willingly subservient. The concept of pets was entirely foreign to the Galactic Confederation, where interspecies relationships were strictly diplomatic, or at best, symbiotic. "Fascinating," Zix's era managed, trying to regain their composure. "And these dogs, they assist in your diplomatic functions." Dr. Chen smiled, a gesture Zix's era had learned indicated amusement or friendliness. "In a manner of speaking, they provide emotional support, security, and are deeply ingrained in many Earth cultures. We thought it important to include them in this historic meeting." As if to demonstrate, Rex sat down beside Dr. Chen, his tail sweeping across the floor in a rhythmic pattern. Luna, the other dog, remained alertly standing beside her human companion, a man Zix's era's systems identified as Colonel Jason Ramirez, head of Earth's Defense Forces. Zix's era's curiosity began to overcome their initial shock. "I see. This is most unexpected, but intriguing. We have much to learn about each other, it seems." "Indeed we do, Ambassador," Dr. Chen agreed. "Shall we proceed to the conference room? We have refreshments prepared, and were eager to begin our discussions. As the group moved through the station's corridors, Zix couldn't help but notice the way other crew members reacted to the dogs. Some reached out to pat them affectionately, while others gave them a respectful berth. The animals seemed to take it all in stride, occasionally sniffing at interesting spots, but always remaining close to their human companions. In the conference room, Zix was surprised again when Rex and Luna calmly took positions near their humans, lying down but remaining alert. The ease with which these powerful creatures obeyed unspoken commands was both impressive and slightly unnerving. As the formal introductions began, Zix found their attention divided between the human delegates and their unusual companions. The implications of a species that could not only tame but form deep bonds with such formidable creatures were staggering. What did this say about humanity's potential on the galactic stage? Ambassador Zix, Dr. Chen said, drawing the aliens' focus back to the matter at hand. We've prepared a comprehensive briefing on Earth's history, cultures, and current global structure. But before we delve into that, is there anything you'd like to ask? Any burning questions about humanity? Zix energy field shimmered as they considered the question. There were countless things they wanted to know, but one query rose above the rest. Yes, Dr. Chen. I'm curious. How did humanity come to form such close bonds with these dogs? And are there other species you've similarly befriended? Dr. Chen's smile widened. Ah, that's quite a story, Ambassador. It goes back tens of thousands of years, to the very dawn of human civilization. And yes, dogs are just one of many species we've domesticated. Would you like to hear more? Zix's form brightened with interest. Please, do tell. I have a feeling this will be crucial to understanding your species. As Dr. Chen began to recount the ancient tale of dogs and humans, Zix realized that their mission had already veered far from the expected path. Humanity, it seemed, was full of surprises. And this, the ambassador suspected, was only the beginning of a journey that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of life, intelligence, and the complex bonds between species. The first contact had been made, and already the universe felt like a vastly different place. The Galactic Summit. The vast amphitheater of the Galactic Confederation's central hub buzzed with an energy unlike any in recent memory. Representatives from 1,000 worlds filled the tiered seating, their diverse forms a testament to the variety of life in the cosmos. But today, all eyes were fixed on the newcomers, the human delegation, and their extraordinary companions. Ambassador Zix floated at the podium, their luminous form flickering with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. In the weeks since first contact, news of humanity's unique relationship with their pets had spread like wildfire through the Confederation. Now, as they prepared to formally introduce Earth to the galactic community, Zix could feel the weight of countless curious and wary gazes. Esteemed colleagues, Zix began, their synthesized voice resonating through the chamber. Today marks a historic moment. We welcome the representatives of Earth, a world that has long been the subject of observation and speculation. They come before us not just as a new species joining our ranks, but as bearers of a perspective that challenges our understanding of interspecies relationships. A murmur rippled through the audience as Dr. Amara Chen stepped forward, flanked by Rex and Luna. The two dogs, now adorned in ceremonial garb that melded Earth cultures with cosmic motifs, stood proudly beside their human companions. Greetings, citizens of the galaxy, Dr. Chen said, her voice clear and confident. We come in peace and with great eagerness to join this grand assembly of worlds. We bring with us not just the hopes and dreams of humanity, but also the embodiment of a bond that has shaped our history and our hearts. As if on cue, Rex let out a soft woof, causing a wave of startled reactions among the alien dignitaries. Some recoiled in their seats, while others leaned forward in fascination. The Zorn representative, a being of living crystal, chimed in with a musical tone. These creatures, they are not sentient by our usual metrics, yet you treat them as equals. How can this be? Dr. Chen smiled, reaching down to scratch behind Rex's ears. Intelligence and worth come in many forms, respected Zorn. Our canine friends may not build starships or write poetry, but they possess emotional intelligence, loyalty, and a capacity for love that has enriched our lives immeasurably. They are family. This statement caused an even greater stir. The concept of family, extending beyond one's own species, was revolutionary to many in the assembly. A Volcran diplomat, their gelatinous form shimmering with bioluminescent patterns, oozed forward. But surely, these are simply well-trained beasts. How can you be certain of their emotional capacity? Colonel Jason Ramirez, who had been quietly observing, stepped up. Perhaps a demonstration would be more convincing than words. Luna, come. The sleek German shepherd moved to Ramirez's side, alert and ready. Luna, find Amara, Ramirez commanded softly. Without hesitation, Luna trotted over to Dr. Chen, gently nudging her hand. Chen patted her head affectionately. Now, Ramirez continued, Luna, who's a friend? Luna's tail wagged as she looked around the room. To everyone's surprise, she approached Zixara, sitting down and offering a paw to the startled ambassador. Zixara's energy field pulsed rapidly, a sign of emotional turbulence to those who could read it. After a moment's hesitation, they extended a tendril of energy to touch Luna's paw. Extraordinary, Zixara whispered. I can sense warmth, affection. But how? Dr. Chen's eyes twinkled. Luna recognizes your kindness, Ambassador. Dogs have an uncanny ability to read emotions, even across species apparently. They're not just trained. They're empathetic beings capable of forming genuine bonds. The demonstration had a profound effect on the assembly. The initial wariness began to give way to curiosity, and in some cases, wonder. However, not all were swayed. The Drekthar delegation, known for their militant stance and distrust of emotional displays, growled their disapproval. This is absurd, their leader, a towering insectoid named Krazak, chittered. You bring beasts to a diplomatic summit and expect us to see them as equals. This is an insult to the Confederation. Tension filled the air as Krazak's warriors clicked their mandibles menacingly. Rex and Luna, sensing the hostility, moved protectively in front of their human companions. Dr. Chen raised her hands in a placating gesture. We meant no offense, honored Drekthar. Our canine friends are here as a demonstration of humanity's values and capabilities. They are living proof of our ability to form bonds across biological barriers, to find common ground with those different from ourselves. Isn't that the very foundation of this confederation? Ambassador Zixara, seeing the potential for conflict, quickly intervened. Perhaps we should take a recess to reflect on what we've learned. This is, after all, a significant paradigm shift for many of us. As the assembly dispersed for the break, the human delegation found themselves at the center of a whirlwind of questions and curious approaches. Many delegates, initially hesitant, now cautiously reached out to interact with Rex and Luna. A young Andromedian, their tentacles waving gently, approached Dr. Chen. Your dogs, they'd protect you, yes, but they also seem to bring you joy. How strange and wonderful. Chen nodded, smiling. They're guardians and friends, partners and confidants. They've been by humanity's side as we've grown from cave-dwelling tribes to a spacefaring civilization. As conversations flowed, bridging gaps of biology and culture, Zixara observed with growing amazement. The dogs were acting as unexpected diplomats, their simple presence breaking down barriers that might have taken years of negotiation to overcome. However, the ambassador couldn't help but notice the Drekthar delegation huddled in a corner, their compound eyes glinting with what Zixara recognized as calculation and perhaps a touch of fear. As the recess drew to a close, Zixara approached Dr. Chen. Your introduction has been more impactful than I think any of us anticipated, Doctor. But I must warn you, not everyone sees this bond of yours as benign. The Drekthar, in particular, seem unsettled. Chen's expression grew serious. We expected some resistance, Ambassador. Paradigm shifts are rarely smooth, but we believe that by being open and transparent about our relationship with our canine companions, we can demonstrate humanity's capacity for cooperation and mutual growth. Zixera's energy field rippled with concern. I hope you're right, Doctor, because I fear this summit may become far more pivotal than any of us imagined. The galaxy is watching, and the decisions made here could shape the future of interspecies relations for generations to come. As they returned to the amphitheater, the atmosphere had shifted. The initial shock had given way to a complex tapestry of emotions: fascination, skepticism, hope, and unease all intermingled. The human delegation, with Rex and Luna ever at their side, took their seats, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The galactic summit was far from over, and the true test of humanity's place among the stars was just beginning. Unraveling the mystery. In the days following the tumultuous introduction of humanity to the Galactic Confederation, Ambassador Zixera found themselves at the center of a diplomatic maelstrom. The revelation of Earth's unique relationship with its pets had sent shockwaves through the galactic community, prompting both excitement and concern in equal measure. Zixera's personal quarters aboard the Confederation's space station had become an impromptu command center. Holographic displays flickered with incoming data streams, reports, and urgent communiques from various species seeking clarification on the human situation. Ambassador, the room's eye intoned, you have an incoming transmission from the Andromedan Science Council. Zixera's energy form pulsed in acknowledgement. Put them through. The holographic display shimmered, revealing the tentacled form of Chief Researcher Zilvax. Ambassador Zixera, our preliminary findings on human-canine interactions are, well, they're unprecedented. Go on, Zixera urged, their curiosity piqued. Zilvax's tentacles waved in excitement. We analyzed the genetic structures of both humans and their canine companions. The dogs show clear signs of artificial selection over thousands of years, but that's just the beginning. There are neurochemical similarities in how both species respond to each other. It's as if they've co-evolved to form emotional bonds. Zixera's form brightened with interest. Are you suggesting some form of symbiosis? More than that, Zilvax continued. It's a mutualistic relationship that goes beyond mere survival benefits. These bonds seem to enhance both species' emotional well-being and social structures. It's beautiful, in a way. As Zixera pondered this information, another alert chimed. Ambassador, the Drekthar delegation is demanding an audience, the AI announced. Zixera's energy field flickered with concern. Very well. Zilvax, thank you for your report. Please continue your research and keep me informed. The hologram shifted, replaced by the imposing form of Krazak, the Drekthar leader. His compound eyes gleamed with barely contained hostility. Ambassador, Krazak chittered, we've reviewed the humans' historical records. Do you realize the implications of their relationship with these dogs? Zixera remained calm. I'm still learning about it myself. Krazak, what concerns you? Krazak's mandibles clicked rapidly. These humans have a history of dominating and reshaping other species to suit their needs. They've done it with countless creatures on their world. Who's to say they won't attempt the same with us? That's quite a leap, Krazak, Zixera countered. From what we've seen, their relationships with these animals are based on mutual benefit and affection. Affection, Krazak scoffed. They've molded entire species to be dependent on them. It's a form of species-wide manipulation we've never encountered before. The humans must be contained before they can exert this influence on a galactic scale. As the debate with Krazak continued, Zixera found their thoughts drifting to their own interactions with the human delegation. The memory of Luna's gentle paw touch lingered, challenging Zixera's preconceptions about interspecies relationships. After finally placating Krazak with promises of further investigation, Zixera made a decision. It was time to dig deeper, to understand the true nature of humanity's bond with their animal companions. Hours later, Zixera found themselves in one of the station's holosuites, surrounded by projections of Earth's history. Images and videos flashed by, showing the progression of human civilization alongside their animal partners. Wolves transforming into the myriad breeds of dogs over millennia. Cats moving from revered temple guardians to beloved house pets. Horses carrying humans across vast distances, shaping the course of wars and exploration. But it wasn't just domestication. Zixera watched in fascination as the projection showed humans risking their lives to save animals from disasters, creating sanctuaries for endangered species, and even using animal therapy to heal their own psychological wounds. It's not domination, Zixera murmured to themselves. It's a partnership, a shared journey. Just then, a soft knock interrupted Zixera's contemplation. The holosuite door slid open, revealing Dr. Amara Chen, with Rex padding quietly at her side. "Ambassador," Chen said with a warm smile. "I hope I'm not interrupting. I thought you might have some questions after today's eventful discussions." Zixera's form brightened. "Dr. Chen, your timing is impeccable. I've been immersing myself in your species' history, trying to understand." Chen nodded, stepping into the holosuite. Rex settled down nearby, his eyes alert but calm. "And what have you learned, Ambassador?" "It's remarkable," Zixera began, their energy field pulsing with excitement. "The sheer diversity of relationships your species has formed with Earth's fauna is unprecedented in our records. But there's something I still don't quite grasp." "What's that?" Chen asked, genuinely curious. Zixera's form shimmered as they formulated their question. "Your technology has advanced to the point where these animals are no longer necessary for survival. You have machines that can perform tasks more efficiently. Yet the bond persists and even seems to have deepened. Why?" Chen's smile widened. She knelt down, running her hand gently along Rex's back. The dog leaned into her touch, a soft whine of contentment escaping him. "Ambassador," Chen began, "what you're seeing here goes beyond necessity. Yes, dogs like Rex were originally domesticated for practical purposes, hunting, herding, protection. But over time, something extraordinary happened. We discovered in these animals not just useful traits, but companionship, loyalty, and a capacity for love that mirrored our own." Zixera watched in fascination as Rex nuzzled Chen's hand, the affection between them palpable. Chen continued, "In many ways, our relationships with animals like dogs have helped shape our own emotional evolution. They've taught us empathy, responsibility, and the value of unconditional love. These aren't just pets, Ambassador. They're family members, teachers, and in many ways, a reflection of our own capacity for forming bonds beyond the boundaries of species." As if to emphasize the point, Rex stood up and approached Zixera. The ambassador's energy field flickered with a mix of surprise and curiosity as the dog sat before them, looking up with intelligent eyes. "He wants to say hello," Chen explained softly. "If you're comfortable, you can try petting him. Just extend your energy field gently." Hesitantly, Zixera reached out with a tendril of energy. Rex remained still, allowing the alien touch. As Zixera's energy field made contact with Rex's fur, a sudden rush of warmth and affection flooded their senses. This is extraordinary," Zixera whispered. "I can feel his emotions. They're so pure, genuine." Chen nodded, her eyes glistening slightly. "That's the essence of our bond, Ambassador. It's not about dominance or control. It's about connection, about two species coming together to form something greater than the sum of its parts." As Zixera continued to interact with Rex, their energy field glowing with newfound understanding, the implications began to sink in. This wasn't just about humans and their pets. This was about the potential for connections across the cosmos, bridges built between the most unlikely of species. "Dr. Chen," Zixera said finally, their voice filled with awe, "I believe I'm beginning to understand. And I think I think this could change everything. Chen's expression was a mix of hope and determination. That's what we're hoping for, Ambassador. Because if we can form these bonds with the animals of our world, imagine the possibilities when we extend that same openness and empathy to the stars. As Rex settled contentedly between them, human and alien stood in the glow of Earth's history, the seeds of a new galactic understanding beginning to take root. The mystery of humanity's unique connection with their animal companions was unraveling, revealing not just the past of one species, but potentially the future of all. Crisis and confrontation. The tranquility of the Galactic Confederation's central hub was shattered by blaring alarms. Emergency lights bathed the corridors in an ominous red glow as beings from 1,000 worlds rushed to their stations. In the heart of the command center, Ambassador Zixera's energy form pulsed with urgency as they absorbed the incoming reports. "It's confirmed, Ambassador," a Volcran analyst announced, their gelatinous form rippling with anxiety. "The Void Swarm has breached the Orion defense perimeter. They'll be upon us within hours." The Void Swarm, a nightmarish collective of energy-consuming entities that had long lurked at the edges of known space. For centuries, they had been little more than a distant threat, held at bay by the combined efforts of the Confederation's most advanced technologies. But now, they had broken through, and panic was spreading faster than any subspace transmission. How did this happen? Zixera demanded, their usually calm demeanor crackling with tension. Before anyone could respond, the doors to the command center hissed open. Dr. Amara Chen strode in, flanked by Rex and Luna, with Colonel Ramirez close behind. The dog's ears were perked, sensing the heightened emotions in the room. "We picked up the distress call," Chen said, her face grim. "How can we help?" For a moment, the alien officials seemed taken aback by the presence of the dogs in this critical situation. But Zixera, recalling their recent epiphany about the human-canine bond, quickly intervened. "Dr. Chen, Colonel Ramirez, your timing is fortuitous. We're facing a threat unlike any the Confederation has encountered in generations." As Zixera briefed the human delegation on the Void Swarm, holographic displays flickered to life, showing the terrifying advance of the cosmic predators. Tendrils of dark energy lashed out, consuming entire star systems in their wake. "Our standard defenses are failing," the Volcran analyst added. "The swarm adapts too quickly to our energy-based weapons." Colonel Ramirez studied the tactical displays, his brow furrowed in concentration. "What about physical barriers? Solid matter?" The room fell silent as the aliens exchanged confused looks. "Physical barriers," a Zorn representative chimed in, their crystalline form vibrating with skepticism. "The Void Swarm exists partly in subspace. They phase through solid matter as if it weren't there." Ramirez nodded, a spark of an idea forming. "True, but they still need to manifest in real space to feed, right? What if we could force them to fully materialize?" Dr. Chen's eyes widened as she caught on to Ramirez's train of thought. "And if they're material, they can be fought with conventional weapons." The alien delegates murmured in a mixture of confusion and desperate hope. Zixera's energy field pulsed with curiosity. "An intriguing theory, but how would we accomplish this?" Chen turned to the dogs, who had been quietly observing the proceedings. "We might have a unique solution. Rex, Luna, come here, please." As the dogs padded forward, Chen addressed the assembly. "Our canine friends here possess sensory abilities that go beyond what most species, including humans, are capable of. They can detect subtle changes in their environment, including electromagnetic fluctuations. Are you suggesting we use these animals as some kind of early warning system?" the Zorn representative asked, their tone a mix of disbelief and fascination. "More than that," Chen replied. "If we can calibrate our sensors to mimic the way dogs perceive these energy fluctuations, we might be able to detect the exact moment the Void Swarm begins to manifest in real space." Ramirez picked up the thread. "And if we know when they're materializing, We can hit them with everything we've got at their most vulnerable moment. The command center erupted into a flurry of activity as the Confederation's best scientists worked alongside the human delegation to implement their daring plan. Rex and Luna were fitted with specially designed sensor suites, their natural abilities augmented by alien technology. Hours ticked by, the tension mounting as the Void Swarm drew ever closer. Defense fleets were mobilized, weaponry was recalibrated, and every available resource was poured into this last-ditch effort. As the first tendrils of the swarm became visible in the space surrounding the hub, an eerie silence fell over the command center. All eyes were on Rex and Luna, who stood alert, their enhanced senses reaching out into the void. Suddenly, both dogs began to growl, a low, rumbling sound that sent shivers down the spines of every being present. "They're sensing something," Chen said, her voice taut with anticipation. Rex's ears twitched, and Luna's tail stood rigid. In that instant, alarms blared as the sensor networks, now attuned to the dog's perceptions, detected a massive energy spike. "Now," Ramirez shouted, "they're materializing." Across the sector, Confederation ships unleashed a barrage of fire unlike anything seen before in the galaxy. Weapons of a dozen different species, guided by the unique sensory input of Earth's canines, struck the Void Swarm at the precise moment of their manifestation. The result was spectacular and terrifying. Great swathes of the swarm were torn apart, their otherworldly forms rendered vulnerable by the humans' ingenious strategy. But the battle was far from over. The swarm, though caught off guard, was vast and relentless. As the conflict raged, with Rex and Luna at the heart of the Confederation's defense strategy, Zixera found a moment to approach Dr. Chen. "Your species continues to astonish us," the ambassador said, their energy field flickering with a complex mix of emotions. "This bond you share with your animal companions, it may well be the key to our survival." Chen managed a tired smile, reaching down to scratch behind Rex's ears as the dog continued his vigilant watch. "It's more than just a bond, Ambassador. It's a partnership that's been millions of years in the making. Humans and dogs, evolving together, learning from each other. And now, that partnership extends to the stars." The battle raged on, with the fate of the galaxy hanging in the balance. The Void Swarm, for the first time in its ancient existence, found itself facing an enemy it couldn't easily overwhelm. And at the center of it all were two species from a small blue planet, their unlikely alliance reshaping the very nature of galactic warfare. As Rex and Luna continued to alert the fleet to each new manifestation of the swarm, Zixera couldn't help but wonder. If this bond between humans and their pets could turn the tide against an incomprehensible cosmic threat, what other wonders might it bring to the galaxy? The crisis was far from over, but in the midst of chaos and destruction, a new hope had emerged, a hope born from the simple, profound connection between a species that had reached for the stars and the loyal companions who had been by their side every step of the way. Triumph of unity. The battle against the Void Swarm raged across the galaxy, a cosmic struggle unlike any in recorded history. At the heart of the Confederation's defense stood an unlikely alliance, the advanced technologies of 1,000 worlds, guided by the instincts of two dogs from a distant blue planet. In the command center of the galactic hub, Dr. Amara Chen worked tirelessly alongside alien scientists, refining the sensors that translated Rex and Luna's perceptions into tactical data. Colonel Ramirez coordinated with fleet commanders, his military expertise bridging the gap between Earth's strategies and alien combat doctrines. Ambassador Zixera watched in awe as the human canine teams became the linchpin of the entire defense network. Their energy form pulsed with a mixture of hope and trepidation as reports flooded in from across the battlefront. "The Arcturian arm is clear," a Zorn tactician chimed. "The swarm's advance has been halted in the Carina sector." Cheers erupted from various species, a cacophony of sounds that would have been chaos weeks ago, but now blended into a symphony of unity. Yet the Void Swarm was far from defeated. As if sensing the threat posed by the Earth creatures, the cosmic predators began to focus their assault on the galactic hub itself. Alarms blared as the hub's outer defenses were breached. Rex and Luna's growls deepened, their enhanced senses detecting the imminent manifestation of the swarm within the station itself. "They're adapting," Dr. Chen shouted over the din. "They're trying to take out our early warning system." Colonel Ramirez's face hardened with determination. "Then we bring the fight to them." "Dr. Chen, Ambassador Zixera, we need to move Rex and Luna to different sectors of the hub. Spread out our detection net." Zixera's form flickered with concern. "But the risk is necessary," Chen finished, her hand resting reassuringly on Rex's head. "We trust them, Ambassador. Now it's time for you to trust us." In that moment, as chaos swirled around them, Zixera made a decision that would reshape galactic history. "Very well. I will accompany one team myself." And so, as the Void Swarm breached the hub's inner sanctums, 3 unlikely teams spread out to make their stand. Dr. Chen and Rex raced towards the power core, their steps in perfect sync. Colonel Ramirez and Luna headed for the communications array, the dog's alert ears guiding them through flickering corridors. And in a sight that would be remembered for generations, Ambassador Zixera's glowing form hovered protectively near a contingent of Earth dogs that had been brought aboard as reinforcements, leading them towards the life support systems. As they split up, Chen's voice crackled over the comms. "Remember, everyone, the swarm may be able to phase through matter, but they can't phase through the bond we share. That connection is our strength." Throughout the hub, the battle unfolded like nothing ever seen before in the galaxy. In the power core, Rex's growls gave Chen split-second warnings, allowing her to reroute crucial energy flows just as tendrils of void energy lashed out to consume them. At the communications array, Luna's keen senses allowed Ramirez to coordinate a defense that seemed to anticipate the swarm's every move. The dog's unwavering loyalty inspired even the most skeptical of alien allies, who found themselves fighting with renewed vigor. But it was in the life support sector that the true power of the human-canine bond was revealed. Ambassador Zixera, who had only recently grasped the depths of this relationship, found themselves seamlessly integrated into the pack dynamics of the Earth dogs. Their energy form pulsed in rhythm with the dog's heartbeats, creating an impromptu neural network that detected swarm manifestations with unprecedented accuracy. As the crisis reached its peak, with the fate of not just the hub but the entire galaxy hanging in the balance, a realization swept through the defenders. It wasn't superior firepower or advanced technology that would win this war. It was connection. The ability to bridge gaps, to form bonds across species, to create strength from diversity. In a moment that would be immortalized in galactic legend, Rex, Luna, and the pack led by Zixera simultaneously detected the largest swarm manifestation yet. Their warnings, transmitted instantly across the hub's network, allowed for a coordinated counterattack that struck at the very heart of the cosmic threat. The Void Swarm, for the first time in its ancient existence, reeled back. The unified defense, guided by the instincts of Earth's canines and the spirit of interspecies cooperation, had achieved the impossible. As the last tendrils of the swarm dissipated, an exhausted silence fell over the hub. In the life support sector, Ambassador Zixera found themselves surrounded by wagging tails and gentle whines, the Earth dogs treating them as one of their own. "Ambassador," Chen's tired but triumphant voice came over the comms. "I think it's over. We've won." Hours later, as the Galactic Confederation began the monumental task of recovery, the central chamber of the hub witnessed a scene unlike any in its long history. Representatives from every member species gathered, their differences set aside in the wake of shared victory. At the center of it all stood the human delegation, with Rex and Luna by their sides, and Ambassador Zixera hovering nearby, their energy forms still pulsing in sync with the dog's heartbeats. "Members of the Confederation," Zixera began, their voice resonating with newfound strength. We stand here today not just as survivors of an unprecedented threat, but as witnesses to the birth of a new era of galactic cooperation. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembly. The humans and their extraordinary companions have shown us that true strength lies not in technological superiority or military might, but in our ability to form bonds, to connect across the divides of biology, culture, and even space itself. Dr. Chen stepped forward, her hand resting gently on Rex's head. What we've achieved here is only the beginning. The bond we share with our canine friends is a testament to the potential that exists when different species learn to work together, to understand and complement each other. Colonel Ramirez added, "And now we extend that same spirit of partnership to the stars. Earth stands ready to share our unique perspective with the galaxy, to learn from you all, and to explore the cosmos together." As if to punctuate their words, Luna let out a soft woof, causing ripples of amusement and affection to spread through the alien delegates. The Drekthar leader Krazek, who had been among the most vocal skeptics of humanity's place in the Confederation, stepped forward. His compound eyes gleamed with a new understanding. "I was wrong about you, humans," Krazek chittered, his usual aggression replaced by humility. "Your bond with these creatures, which we dismissed as manipulation, has proven to be a source of strength beyond our comprehension. The Drekthar would be honored to learn more about this partnership." One by one, representatives from across the galaxy stepped forward, each expressing their desire to explore this new paradigm of interspecies cooperation. As the assembly concluded, with plans laid for a new galactic concordat that would reshape the political and social landscape of known space, Ambassador Zix's era found themselves in a quiet moment with Dr. Chen and Rex. "You know, Ambassador," Chen said with a smile, scratching behind Rex's ears, "on Earth we have an old saying, 'Dog is man's best friend.' I think it's time we updated that for the galactic age." Zix's form shimmered with curiosity. "Oh, and what would you propose?" Chen looked out at the stars visible through the hub's vast viewport, her eyes shining with the promise of the future. "How about, in the vastness of the cosmos, friendship knows no bounds." Rex woofed softly in agreement, and even Zix's energy field seemed to glow a little brighter. As news of the victory spread across the galaxy, carried by faster-than-light communications, and heralded by jubilant celebrations on countless worlds, a new chapter in cosmic history began to unfold. The story of humanity and their faithful companions had become legend overnight, a testament to the power of loyalty, love, and the unbreakable bonds that can form between the most unlikely of allies. The galaxy would never be the same, and as ships from Earth prepared to venture further into the cosmic ocean than ever before, each carried with them not just the hopes and dreams of humanity, but the wagging tails and wet noses of the companions who had helped unite the stars. The age of galactic unity had dawned, guided by the timeless bond between humans and their very best friends.